A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular session, the Divine Masculine Collective feels that no one understands them better the way feminine does. No one actually understood them the way feminine understood them. And the feeling of this connection has been the safest and warmest for them so far. And they obviously come to realize this when they are going through some kind of a tower moment where, all of the things have crashed completely. And we don't wish anything upon anyone, like everyone should be happy. But when you do inner work, you actually understand that there's no such thing as good and bad. Some of the bad experiences that people go through are extremely important for them so that they can grow and they can become a better person, a better version of themselves. So here, what exactly is happening with him is, the masculine sees the feminine like this very strong person. The feminine has new plans, new ideas, intellectual and mental clarity. And he feels like actually feminine energy is creative energy and it is about ideas. So he can currently see her as that, or he recognizes, because these type of channelings appear when the other person has begun to recognize. And interestingly, the masculine collective is looking at the feminine as a very abundant person or an abundant authoritative. So there is authority, but there is abundance and there is some kind of gentleness, kindness. I've been shown that masculine is looking at the feminine as a fashionable person, fashionable and fascinating. So it's not like the feminine is wearing some very expensive clothes, but just something about the feminine, like the styling of the hair, or maybe some kind of a hair chain, or maybe some kind of a turban, some kind of a hairband, very unique shoes or very comfortable gown. So there is comfort, there is abundance, and there is fashion. Fashion usually never comes, or comes very less. This is probably one of the few channelings where this has popped up. So maybe the masculine senses that the feminine is not only like wearing good clothes, but it's like I'm being shown it's not the brands that she wears. She is not a person who's wearing brands. She or he, again, it's not gender specific, but just the way they carry themselves. It's something that the masculine has started recognizing, that it's different and it's unique and it's very easy on his eyes. Okay, easy on their eyes. They also see balance and balance of polar energies in this person. So sometimes when we are able to recognize it in other people, then we also want to create those things or bring those things within us. In order to bring in anything in your life, the first step is to recognize. Then next, the masculine collective is looking at the feminine collective as very happy, social, but very contained, social yet contained, and someone who likes to decorate things, someone who likes to make old things into new things, like recycling and using some kind of products that are eco-friendly, which are good for the environment. So these are like really small details, but very important details that the collective is noticing. They actually see this person as someone who's very fun to be around, and you also need to keep up with them. So keeping up with someone is not easy if that person has a certain very either very healthy way of living or a very pathetic way of living. Like people say on this show, keeping up with the Kardashians, but actually If you try to keep up with them, you'll be ending up getting Botox, some plastic surgery. Either you'll be reducing your butt or increasing, because these days they are reducing it, all of them. Because now they are not dating the black men anymore. Now they are into the different types of people. Two of them are dating white guys, Courtney and Kim. And Chloe is also probably into that. So as long as, they had these men around them, so they were doing all the things that the black people or the black women do. Now those men are not there, so there's no need. I think they don't have their own individual personality to bring in on table. Positivity and negativity is a different thing, because in the media business, anyone can, show them to be positive. Like Chloe was giving some interview. She's giving an interview to this guy who was accused of plagiarism. And she was talking like the most positive person on this planet who knows everything about positivity. But then this is the same person who actually took down her picture from the internet, which was not photoshopped. And it was actually a very normal and nice picture. According to me, when I looked at the picture, there's nothing bad in it, but it wasn't photoshopped, and she was actually looking like a normal girl, which she didn't want. So they talk about positivity, they talk about cyberbullying, internet bullying. You are the bully, you're the one who created this type of a sort of a lifestyle for others to follow. And now you have a problem with the same people. So you are the one who created these artificial standards of beauty, wealth, love, relationships, motherhood. Absolutely artificial. All of their pictures are photoshopped. The paparazzi is always paid. They always select the pictures. Anyway, so just the way you keep up with these type of things or this type of lifestyle, to keep up with something positive is not easy. Like, say for example, the feminine collective is focused on health and fitness and good food and exercise and body positivity and so many amazing things, like loving the nature. So obviously they're not going to be sleeping till late, eating junk food, drinking alcohol, eating meat. These are all very heavy foods. So when you give yourself a very heavy lifestyle or a heavy routine in the evening, towards the evening time, you can never enjoy the morning time. You can actually try this out, some of you want to, if you want to. If you eat light food in the night, like if you have very less dinner, or you don't eat like meals very late, after 8 you don't eat any meals, and whatever you eat is very light and healthy and simple, in the morning you'll wake up much more easily as compared to the night where you had very heavy food. And if you really want to have a healthy lifestyle, then in the morning you should have very heavy or like healthy but heavy breakfast. So before 10:30 you should be done with eating whatever you want to eat. And this type of lifestyle, where you love nature, where you respect other beings, where you are conscious about the environment, everything related to it, at least you do your bit in your own ecosystem. So a man who has bad habits, who drinks up, who wakes up late in the night, he cannot meet this girl, or he cannot be on the same page or the same energy. She wants to go out in the morning and go for a jog, and she tells him, hey, let's catch up in the morning at 6 a.m., for example. And he is not able to wake up at 11. And so think about it. My whole feeling about this particular channeling is that there is a lot of recognition energy that I see. So not only, it's not like putting someone down. It's not like saying the masculine collective is not health conscious or fitness conscious or food conscious. I am talking about this particular channeling. Okay, here they see the feminine as a very inspiring person also. So when you recognize something good in another person, you are also motivated and inspired. If you're jealous and envious, it's a different thing. Then obviously negative emotion will consume you and you will not think straight and you'll or do all the negative things. But if you look at that person, you remove the jealousy energy or the envy energy, and you look at the person, you can actually learn a lot from them then. You can learn how they're successful, how they're so positive, like what do they do, how much do they accept themselves, and you see that other people also accept them or love them. Of course, 100% it cannot be hunky-dory always, but the energy speaks more than anything else. And person's success does not depend only on how much wealth they have or how popular they are, because anybody can be, in today's world especially, can be very popular. You can make a lot of money by taking a lot of shortcuts. But life is not just about making money or becoming popular or becoming like center of attention, So he as in the masculine energy is looking at the feminine like this person who's very friendly, very easy breezy, very happy-go-lucky, busy in their own worlds, doing a lot of things. And I'm also being shown that the masculine feels feminine has lots of friends, lots of parties, lots of social life. She knows a lot of people. She as in the collective. So it could be a man or a woman. Then he is also thinking. So basically now I'm being shown that he's also a person who has done good amount of inner work, but he's not satisfied with the inner work that he has done so far. So keeps looking at the inner work, like when is it going to grow, when is it going to grow. And there is some kind of a runner chaser dynamic with the inner work also. Like, as I spoke about, some days he's very health conscious, fitness conscious, eating on time, sleeping on time. And then next 15 to 20 days, back to the same old thing, binge watching at late nights. Just before it's time to sleep, say it's 11 p.m. in the night, that's when he decides to watch a show or some episode, and then it's the next, and it's morning 4. So he is upset about it. I think this type of channeling has also been shared because I do see some kind of a huge shift in the energy of one of them. So one of them shifts, then the other shifts up. Then the other shifts a lot, and the other one, the first one, primary one, says, oh, I need to catch up. So that's why I said either it's catching up with each other or it's keeping up with each other. But I can see there is positive synergy. It's not entirely negative, okay, in this channeling. And the feeling of warmth and safety is also being shown, although there is all of this going on in the background, like trying to get inspired. There's some kind of healthy comparison, questioning like, why haven't I done this or I done that? And then looking at another person and feeling like, oh wow, they've done it. That's nice, So they also want to end all of their addictions and bad habits and, things that they don't need anymore. So they've actually come to a very strong conclusion because of the feeling that this connection has given to them. The safety, the warmth, the unconditional support, love. Not everybody is horny all the time, okay? Not everybody is looking for sex. Especially when you do inner work, you actually start getting out of the world of lust. And the lust is simply a distractive energy. So when we studied human design, we asked this question, like, what is the difference between projectors and generators? So they told us that projectors are not distracted by sexual energy. But if they are sexually abused in the childhood, or they were hypersexual, so they have a lot of guilt, or maybe they performed certain acts which they did not know were sexual in nature, but when they grew up, they realized it. So while, growing up and while realizing that something is wrong, they carry the shame and guilt of it, but they are not horny otherwise. And once they realize, what this sexual thing is all about, they sort of get a little put off by it and a little disgusted by it also. They find it a bit absurd, and some of the people don't even see it like a big deal. So they could be very sexual in their relationships, very active in their relationships, but they are doing it just because it's a norm. Like they don't know anything as asexuality also exists, or anything as romantic asexuals also exist, or they did not know that inner work moves you into a place where lust is is either not there at all, or it has reduced to a huge degree, where you don't need to depend on other people to satisfy you, or give you some kind of pleasure that people seek actually. So they don't get distracted by this energy anymore. And when you don't get distracted by the lust and the perversion that we see everywhere, or the sexual nature of a lot of content that is being served like food to people, they don't indulge in any activity which takes away their energy, and they become a person who has tons to do. Every day they'll have so much energy, like they have actually shifted to a very new dimension or created a new frequency for themselves. So even if they're walking on the street and there are other people on the street, it's like a change of scene. So whatever you are, you attract that. If you have a distracted energy, you will attract distractions. If you have a clear energy, like clarity and chilling and relaxed and not worrying about things, you've risen above survival issues, you're just doing what you love, you're just happy, and very content. And happiness is not like always smiling and laughing and being the spotlight. Actually, happiness is being content and being at peace with whatever you have. So they see this, and it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring for them. So they want to also be in those energies where they are not distracted. So I gave a very simple example, they decide to meet in the morning, but they can't. Why? Because he's distracted by a lot of things around him. So he's a match to that lifestyle and she's not. And again, those people who are in feminine energies and masculine energies, they can be of any gender and any sexuality. And always keep this in mind, that eventually twin flames are supposed to be in the merge energies. Initially also they are born as people who have both the energies, but programming and the purpose actually requires them to be in energies which are polarized. So they have to be polarized masculine, they have to be polarized feminine, so that they can experience what it is to be like the masculine and what it is to be like the feminine. And then eventually they can decide, like, okay, now is the time that I embrace everything, all the things about myself, all types of situations that can be seen from two different perspectives can now be seen through one different perspective, which is a singular perspective. For your personal situations, you can check out the description box, which has the details on readings as well as therapies. In readings and single sessions, you can ask questions about your journey. And in therapy, you have a lot of work that goes on for a good number of days and weeks, and in some cases months also, because in the therapies we work on removing all the blocks that have stopped you from feeling unity, feeling singularity, feeling the love, feeling the unconditional love. The blocks are the reason, the traumas are the reason, the wounded inner child's life is a reason why the adult who's now a grown-up person cannot experience contentment and peace and joy and so many wonderful feelings that actually help them to be on their mission and to be able to fulfill the reason why they are on planet Earth. For twin flames and star seeds, it is said that they come here for specific reasons and they have to reach unity in the same life. So obviously, you cannot do all of this if you are going to be materialistic or just like everybody else. The good news is that now you all can support my content by joining Patreon. And to my patrons, I'm going to give one more extra benefit, and that is a Zoom class. So more and more people should join it so that we can have a group study, we can form a small community where people can come and share their thoughts and we can discuss what's happening. You can also check out my book In the Name of Love, which is available on Amazon Kindle. Coming back to the closure of this particular session, the masculine is also looking at the feminine like a very strong person who has very youthful energies, youthful, strong opinions, very stable in terms of emotional conduct and behavior, and also a bit demanding in the sense like they will not accept anything that is below the whole keeping up thing that I spoke about. Like they don't want to involve themselves anymore. So I'm actually channeling for people who have done huge amount of inner work, so they don't want to fall down now. They don't want to descend, they only want to ascend. So they're very clear and specific about this thing, that we don't want to involve in activities that are going to take us down from where we have reached so far, working, all these years doing inner work, trying to understand where we come from and what is really our role here and what are we supposed to do and how we supposed to live. So when you have that type of stability, you don't want to involve yourself, and you can do it very politely also without any drama, because you no longer have emotional crutches. You don't depend on people anymore. If someone says, hey, I'm sorry I could not make it for that event or that thing you asked me about, they would be like, all right, I had a great time, because they actually would have a great time. So I'll see you soon in another one. One love and peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.